All right. Hi, guys. Welcome back to my live and welcome to my class. So, today, hi, Rose, please. How are you? Welcome back to my live. How are you today? How are you? How are you guys doing? I am good. I am good. How are you? If you're new here, welcome to my class. My name is Jenna, and all my life I teach makeup tutorials. So, welcome to this class again. Oh, I'm good. I'm glad to hear, Rosie, that you're good. How was your week so far? How has it been? How's your week been so far? So I'm just going to dive right into this tutorial. So the first thing you want to do whenever you're doing your makeup is cleanse your face. Make sure that your face is clean and nice. You can do that with water and maybe a face wash. You can use a foam cleanser. You can use a cleansing balm. Just make sure that you strip your make your face of any oils or anything that you have applied, and then go ahead and add your serums, moisturize, and then apply your primer. I've done my prep off camera. Now we're going into the tutorial. Nice to hear that you're good, Rose. Please, nice, nice, nice. Now let's get into the tutorial. The first one I want to do is today. I think I want to do okay. I want to do the underpainting method. So I've only done that once on this channel, but I'm bringing it back because I really love the outcome of the underpainting method. So I'm going to do it again. Yes, again. So first of all, we're going to start by applying the contour, highlights, and then blush. And then we'll go into the foundation and then we'll take it up from there. All right, let's get into this. So the first thing I'm going to be using is my concealer. This is from the Maybelline brand. So I know that some people like to just use like a concealer. Hi, I'm Dan. Welcome to my life. So I know people like to use like people who have maybe a low tolerance, makeup tolerance, or they just don't like to wear lots of makeup. You can go ahead and use just your concealers to conceal under your eyes, maybe to do like a highlights contour situation. That still works, but regardless of how you decide to do your makeup, you still need to prep your skin. So remember, today we're doing the underpainting method. So let's get into this video. So as usual, I'm going to be applying this on the back of my hand. Make sure that your hand is clean, washed. If you're not able to wash, then just use a wipe to clean it and then apply. So I like to take the product from my hand and apply. So I'm going to do the exact same thing today. Now, I know some people might just directly apply it to their skin, but your it all depends on your product, right? Some products dry very quickly, like this Maybelline concealer, it dries super quick. So if you go ahead and just put it directly in your skin, then you're going to have patches. Oh, Rose, trivia is for tomorrow. Tomorrow is trivia night. So trivia is for weekends. We have that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So come back for trivia night because it's gonna be fun. So do make sure that you're here tomorrow. Tomorrow we're having trivia. So come expecting fun. So I'm just going to place. The first thing I like to do is to place. Remember, once again, we're doing the underpainting method. And one characteristic about the underpainting method is that you actually put your concealer and contour underneath your foundation, and then you paint over it. So we're going to do the placing just like we usually do, and then we'll continue it from there. So I like to do here. Hi, Pika. How are you? Where are you watching from? So I'm just gonna add some more. Just like I said, this product dries quickly. It's already drying up. So I'm gonna take some and apply under my eye. So I started using the Elm eye cream and I really love it so far. It looks like it's really working with like whatever is going on with my eyes. So I definitely recommend. I think it's really good. I hardly use like eye creams, but this one is really nice. Oh, thank you, Rose Place. Thank you for always returning. I do appreciate that. Hi, Siva. How are you? Where are you watching from? Guys, if you're watching for the first time, do let me know, where are you watching from? I know it looks scary. Don't worry, it's gonna look good. So just like when I do my foundation, I'm going to be spraying just to help me blend it out evenly. Before I do that, I think I want to place my contour, and then I can go ahead and blend everything in. So just because this is the underpainting method, I will be going a little bit darker than I usually would for my contour. You guys know I like a very light contour, but because of the under. Oh, okay. Bye, Rose. Please see you next time. Please do come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is trivia night, so it's gotta be fun. Come back for trivia night tomorrow. So I'm just going to be mixing. I took a little bit of my foundation, my dark foundation, and I am just mixing it with my concealer. And I'm just going to be applying it here, here, and here. Just like so. Now next I'm going to do is spray. So a little bit goes a long way. I think I'm going to start with the highlight and then I'll go into the blush. So to highlight, I'm going to be using the same parts that I used and I'm just pressing it in. So you want to blend, and I'm just pressing this into my skin. And I'm going to go to the forehead and blend, blend, blend. Now I'm going to go to my nose and just make sure that this is well blended. Once again, this is the underpainting method. Is I mean, to be honest, this method actually requires lots of products. So if that is not your style, you might tone it down just a little bit if you don't want too much product. So I'm going to blend this out first, and then I'll do the side, and then I will just look up and blend it in some more. And I think immediately I'm going to go into the contour. And once again, always make sure that you have product on your brush or your beauty blender. And for this, I'm just placing like so. And what I'm going to be doing is blending this into that highlight. I'm doing the exact same thing here. Just blending the products together. Okay, I'm just blending. Now, I'm going to get my setting powder close by just because I want to set this immediately I go into this. And I'm going to go back into the concealer and just touch it just a teeny bit. So if you don't want to do that, you can just spray again and then you'll be good. So I'm just blending this. I like to look up. Now you see that this will give you a really full coverage, especially if you're working with a product that is not full coverage. This will actually give you full coverage. I like to move the excess to my eyelid. And I'm just pressing, pressing, pressing. And then immediately I'm going to grab my brush and I'll just set this slightly. Hi, Jenny. And then I'm going to do the same thing for here. I'm going to look up, yes, Jesus loves you. And I will just press, press, press. And you want to work in that fine line. You don't want any product to settle in there. So try to blend it out as much as possible. This is what it looks like. Now I'm going to set it immediately. Oh, thank you, Showboy. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Do have a beautiful night yourself. So now that this is done, I'm going to go ahead and apply my blush. Now I'm going to be using my Rare Beauty blush. I know I look like all those drawings on eyeshadow palettes. This is hilarious. So I'm just going to take a little bit. And I'm using the Rare Beauty blush. This is in the shade Truth. And as usual, I'm taking a little bit and applying it to the back of my hand. And then I will be using my beauty blender to apply this. I'm just taking a little bit and I am just placing it. I'm going to do the exact same thing for the side and just place. So I'm going to grab some more blush. Ooh. All right. I'm going to go back. I like to use a side that doesn't have like foundation to do my blush. And I'm just pressing this in. Hi, that boy. Welcome to my live and welcome to my makeup class. So this is done. I'm going to wipe off any product that I have and then I will apply the foundation. All right. Now that this is done, now let's get into. So I'm actually doing a makeup class. This is my life. I do my life every single day, and on my life, I teach makeup. So welcome to my makeup class. So on weekends I do trivia. So you're welcome to join me tomorrow for my trivia. Jet to holiday, that's funny. Hi AM. I am think. So guys, if you love trivia, you would enjoy Trivia Friday and Saturday and Sunday. So do come back for my trivia. So now I'm just going to be using the Maybelline. nothing, nothing beats Jet 2 Holiday. So I'm mixing this too. This is the V Beauty brand, and I am mixing it with this Maybelline matte foundation. Now I'm going to be using my Beauty blender once again, and this I'm just using to apply everywhere else. And I'm just applying this on top, but I'm going to like try as much as possible to avoid the under eye because I don't want to put like too much products there. So this is why it's called underpainting. Hi KS Life, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. It's called underpainting because you get to do like your highlight and contour underneath your foundation. So it's a pretty interesting method. Oh, thank you, KS Life. So now I'm going to the forehead and I am just doing the same thing. Hi, I can't read your name, but hello and welcome to my live. So this is basically it. So for my underpainting method, I don't want to cloud my face with like too much product. So even though I am applying like the foundation on top, I'm focusing on the parts that don't have any product so that it is not too much. And then just basically blending in like any harsh lines that might form between the contour and the highlight. Now, this method might work for you if you're someone who just really, really wants something dramatic. This could work for you because it's pretty dramatic. But anyway, I am just finishing this up. And then if you want, you can go back into your highlight and just put a little bit to brighten the under eyes. So I'm going to go in with a lighter concealer. So I'm using the same one from Maybelline. And this is in shade 30. So I'm going to take a very little bit and place it just in there. I'm just going to let this sit for a bit. Let it sit, let it sit. Anyways, I don't understand your language. So I'm sorry, but you have to write in English for me to give you any kind of response. Um, so I'm just taking this and just blending in any parts that I feel like needs a little bit of blending because there's still like some product there. So I'm going to place in here. So I usually I smile a lot, so I tend to have like lines from my smile line. So I like to apply some product in there just to control it just a little bit. You can't change it, right? As long as you're smiling, you're going to have the smile line. But you want to control it just a bit. So don't skip that part if you like me. All right. Now this has sat there for just a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and blend this. So once again, remember to look up and I'm just pressing it in. So the best way to actually blend in any product is to press in. So make sure you're pressing it in until it's properly blended. So this it's important to let your concealer sit just a little bit just because it gives you a fuller coverage. So if you're someone who wants like if you like have very beautiful skin and you just want like a medium coverage, you can just blend it immediately. Thank you, that boy. So now that I have touched it just a little bit, then I'm going to set. Remember, we always set immediately so that we avoid the creasing that goes on under the eye. And I am using this brand called Merak Cosmetics. Oh, sorry, guys. Merak Cosmetics. I don't know if they're still producing, but I got this from Nigeria, the Nigerian brand. So I am just setting this. And hello, Aku. Hello, hello, and welcome to my live. Remember to dust off the excess. So you always want to dust off the excess just because you end up having a much lighter look under your eyes and it won't cake, right? So always tap off the excess. Especially if you're going for something light and natural, tap off the excess. It's better to build the product than having to struggle to blend it out. So, and now I'm going to go ahead and work the other places. Oh, interesting. So this I'm just placing like so. And now I'm going to set this place, my T zone, and I am just placing. Remember, tap off the excess products. Always tap off. If you're enjoying my video so far, give my video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. So now I'm just setting this place. Now that we're done with all the parts that we've highlighted, and we can do the contour and then set the blush. Now to set my contour, I'm using the VBT palette, and I will just be using a dark shade, and I will be setting my contour. Hi Dennis, how are you? Welcome to my live and welcome to my class. How are you today? Now I'm setting the forehead. Remember, wherever you place the cream, you have to set with the powder. And we have set this. Now, if you did your jaw, you also want to set it with the powder. Now I'm going to go into my blush palette. I'm using the CPD blush. And I'm just going to be picking a shade here. As you can see, it's setting nicely. Aku, I don't know. I don't know how possible that is. So this is what it's looking like. This is why I like the underpainting method. It always comes out subtle, but I mean, it could also be like a lot of work. So I'm just placing, and I'm going to continue setting that blush. Oh, thank you. So I just know that makeup really depends on how you blend. If you blend your makeup properly, you would love the outcome. But if your blending is not good, you either end up looking cakey or some parts you can see like the demarcation. So you always want to make sure that you blend. Make sure that you blended the step before the next one. Don't just leave it haphazardly, hoping that it will fix itself. The truth is, when you spray, it's going to set every single thing that you have done. So if you do a bad makeup on your spray, I mean, it will break down the powders, but then your technique will just show underneath, right? So just make sure that you are doing the work before you go into that setting spray because it will set all your mistakes. So this is done. Now, the best thing I like to do whenever I have done this is to set the rest of the face with a powder. This just helps to blend everything together and it just looks like everything is in the right place. So I'm going in with my powder palette once again. I'm picking a shade of powder that is closest to my skin tone. And this I'm just placing like this. And then I like to place everywhere. And you can see that it just blends everything and just looks soft and nice. So this step is very, very crucial. I miss the steps sometimes, and anytime I miss doing this, I always see the difference. So don't miss the step. Hi Avara, how are you? Welcome back to my live. How are you today? Avara, you've been here before, yeah? I think I recognize your name. All right. Yeah, I remember your name. Your name is pretty unique. I've never heard it before, so I remember. Welcome back to my live. Shout out to you watching all the way from India. All right, this is nice, and I'm pretty satisfied. Now I'm just going to go ahead and do like a nose contour. This is totally optional. It depends on your preference. I'm doing this just for dramatic effect. Not that it is important, but then I like to just follow the natural and just use a powder. So if you want this really, really sharp, you can go in with like a concealer, but I don't think it's necessary, especially when I'm trying to get like a very natural look. I feel like just using the powder works for me. Do I have a Porsche? Oh, that's a funny question. I don't have a Porsche, thank you. But you can get me one. I mean, come on. Oh, yeah. I mean that is the plan in the future. I will actually have like a salon that I would love to have a salon that you can get everything, your hair, your nails, everything done in one place. So it will be nice. So I mean in the future it would happen. So this is what it looks like so far. And and I'm just focusing on this part, and I am just going to. That boy, what's so funny? What are you laughing at? Hi, Tanre. How are you? Welcome back to my live. How are you today? So this is done. Now I'm going to go into my eyebrows. Now, if you want this to actually really, really last, especially like when I'm doing like a bridal makeup, I like to spray in between. So I'm going to be using the Mario by the school. So this is a setting spray. What it does is to set what you have done, which is why I said you have to blend properly. If you don't and you set, all your mistakes are just going to come out. So you want to make sure that everything is like really, really, really dry before you go on to the next stage. You don't want to touch your wet face. You're just going to transfer the product into your hand. You don't want to do that because it's going to leave like a patch. So let it dry before you go in. All right. So this is done. Now to get my brows done, I'm going to do very simple brow. Um, I like to grab a pencil, or you can use like a brow gel. It all depends on you. But today I think I'm gonna use like a pencil and a gel. So one thing I like to do when I'm using a pencil is I like to make sure that it's sharp so that it can really, really do the job. So I'm just going to be using a Davis pencil. Is in the shade 018, and I'm going to make it very sharp just because this just helps to give you a very, very clean brow. And I love my brows looking natural as possible. So this is a shade that is very, very close to my brows natural skin shade. So this really helps. You don't want to use like a black pencil or a very light brown. It will show through your makeup. So always make sure that you're matching your brows with a pencil shade that is close to your skin tone. So I'm just going to grab a gel. And today I'm using my brow gel from the Ioni brand. So guys, I have been using this gel for a while and I have noticed something. I don't know, perhaps it's drying up. But I think you should know this. If you've gotten this brand before, if you used it before, just let me know. Did this happen to you? I think this is just about like the second month that I'm using this. Or I think I got it earlier November or just but this is what I noticed. I don't know if the gel is trying to dry up or the winter is getting to it, but yeah, it's drying up really quickly. So I guess this gel, you really want to use it and keep it in a warm environment because it is drying out quickly, even though it's closed. I don't get it, but anyways, I'm just going to go into this gel and I'm going to be using the spoolie brush to pick up the gel and then I'm going to use it to set my brows in place. Now, this is optional. If you don't have like a gel, doesn't mean that you can't get your brows done. You can always use like your hair gel. You just have to make sure that you set it whenever you're done applying the gel. So I'm doing the same here, just brushing my brows. So one thing I know that the brow, if you have like a brow gel, an actual brow gel that is brown, then you can use it. But the clear gel I really like because you just set your brow in place and you can like see the color. But if you use a brown gel and you set your brows in place, it's going to be really hard for you to work with it. So I mean, be careful if you're going to use it. I would say use a little bit at a time. It works so much better for you. So this is in place. I'm just going to brush it thoroughly. Now I'm going to be setting it with my setting powder. Remember to tap off. And I am just setting this. So you want to make sure that you set this so that your brows, the greasy gel doesn't like get in the way of doing your brows. So this is done. Now I'm gonna grab my pencil and I like to grab one of these just to help me so that I'm not moving the product on my face. And I'd like to start from here. And this is why you need a sharp pencil because it just helps you get very defined lines. So this I'm just placing. I'm just following the natural brow line. And then I'm gonna go in here and just fill it up just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna do the top. And again, I'm just following the natural line and going like so. So this is what it looks like. Then I'm gonna go in and just fill it up, little strokes. And that's basically it. Now I'm gonna go in here And here I'm just working with the tiniest strokes ever. Hi Kimberly, how are you? Welcome back to my live. Thank you very much. Now we're going back and we're just brushing these. And voila, the brows are done. So now I'm going to go ahead and just brush them. Just keep brushing it until I have it stained perfectly well. And that is it. Now you like to go back and make sure that your pencil is well sharpened again. I always like my pencil very pointy. So I am going in here, following the natural brow line. So as you can see, this is looking nice already. I'm just going to keep on working it. So I always like to do the bottom first, just because I feel like you have so much more control when you do the bottom first, and it just helps you to align the top. So if you draw your brow from the top, kudos to you. I don't know how you do it, but kudos to you. Now that this is done, it's gonna guide me on the top. And I'm just gonna make sure that they're on the same level. And now I'm gonna go for the top. And you see, this is actually why you need to use a brow shade, a pencil shade rather, that is very close to your brow so that you can see the natural. That is what really gives you the natural effect, using a brow shade that is similar. So I try not to go too hard with my shading. Just make sure it's light as possible. And then I fill up the brows. I go in between looking for any patches that I can just fill in. These are like hair-like strokes, I like to call them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi Tom, how are you? Welcome to my live. How are you doing today? Now, as you can see, the brows look good. They look very similar. And now we have to clean them up. Now to clean them up is pretty simple. I like to use my concealer, and what gets it looking very, very nice. Oh, I am very well. Thanks for asking. What gets it super nice is that I use like two different shades. Now, the first shade is just to get the brows, the brow bone highlighted. And if you don't know where your brow bone is, this is where your bone is. So I like to highlight that part with my concealer. So I am just grabbing two shades. So I start with the lighter one, and I like to pick just a little bit. I love using a rounded brush with this. It just really helps me control. So here we're just going to clean it up and just to give us a very nice arch in there. So you want to go very slow with this so that you don't ruin them. And this is basically what I do. And then I don't necessarily have to like hold up my brows. I just let the brush do the work for me. And as you can see, that bone area is very nice and highlighted. And this is where I stop using the lighter shade and I go into the darker shade. Now, I like to go into that dark shade and I just pick up just a little bit of it, just a little bit. You don't need much. Hi, Cherie. Welcome back to my life. How are you today? And this I used to clean up that brown to give it a very nice look. And I go in here. And as you can see, that is really literally all I need to do. Really? You put your sunscreen over your makeup? I know there is like this sunscreen. I need to look for the brand, right? Yeah, it's a good base. I always wear like sunscreen if I'm going out. I can wear it underneath my makeup. But the truth is, I don't these days I don't wear makeup unless I'm going out for like a serious event. But I know there is a sunscreen that you can actually apply over your makeup. It looks like an illuminator or like what are these? Forgot the name. It's very cream like, so you can just place it on your makeup. I find those very interesting and nice, just because you can pick a sunscreen shade that fits your complexion and it just works very well. So those are the only exceptions, but then sunscreen should always be underneath your makeup. That one just helps you to like reapply. When you apply sunscreen, you're always supposed to reapply. That just helps you to reapply. So I find that that is very nice and helpful. So I'm using a brush to blend the dark one into the light one, and that's what gives it a very, very nice natural finish. Now I like to wipe off the brush on my hand, and then I will go on top like so with the basically empty brush. This just helps me to control the product, and then in one hand motion, I just clean up the top, as you can see. Oh, thank you. Hi, Greyhounds. Welcome to my life. And as you can see, this looks very, very nice, very subtle. This is how I get. Ooh, okay, okay, okay. Have fun. You want to see my makeup palette? Okay. So I actually have like a powder palette. I use single foundations. So I actually have a powder palette like this. This is what I use. But for my foundation, I use like singles. I tend to mix. So this is a foundation I use. It's a Maybelline Fit Me. And my makeup chest, I don't have a makeup chest. And this is what I use. Okay, so let me just, oh, I'm just going to apply some of that highlighter here. And now I'm going to do the same for this under eye. Translation issue. I see. Okay, if you say so. So now I'm going to go back and wipe off the brush because I don't want the products mixing, and then I am going to go in with the lighter shade again, and I am just placing in here like so. And as you can see, This I'm just going to do. I'm basically doing the exact same thing in here. But I'm just going to go back with my pencil wherever I see a gap. Okay, this is looking nice. So now I'm going to go into the darker shade once again, just to give me that very nice shade. All right. One thing I like about this technique is that it just really blends in and it looks very, very natural. So, so this is what it looks like so far. And same thing, I'm going to go ahead and blend it into the lighter shade. All right, this looks good. Hi, Jonathan, how are you? Welcome back to my live. So I like to wipe off the brush on the back of my hand. I'm using a basically empty brush. Oh, good to know that you're good. All right, and I'm just cleaning up. Oh, hi, Linlet. How are you? Welcome to my life. You tell them, Linlet. Tell them. And I'm just cleaning up any part that I feel like needs to be cleaned up. Hi, Ramasia. Hi, thank you. Welcome to my life. Where are you guys watching from? So brows are done, and I love the look. So to clean this up, I'm just going to go underneath. You know that we already did. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. So I'm going to go back into that contour shade. Shout out to you watching all the way from USA. Today I'm just doing like I started with the underpainting method, so you can go back and watch later. The underpainting method, I'm teaching people what underpainting is, right? So it's pretty fun. I mean, if you have a lot of time on your hands, then you can do the underpainting method because you do need a lot of patience and a lot of blending work. So you would have to take your time. But today is just like overall makeup tutorial, just a different way. So now that this is done, we're gonna go into the eyeshadow. I'm always excited for eyeshadow. I don't know why. I'm always excited. So now I'm gonna set that brow with my setting powder. And I'm just setting up like so. Remember to always tap off. And this is done. Now I'm going to go in with my concealer. And I like to place it on my eyelid. This you can let to sit out for just a very short while, maybe 10 to 15 seconds. Then you blend it in. Okay, we've let it sit out for a little bit, so I'm just going to blend it out. So I like to tap, tap, tap and keep tapping. until everything is well blended. So we're just tapping, tapping, tapping. Myanmar. That sounds familiar. I don't know. What is it? So as you can see, this is well blended and I'm pretty satisfied. So now I am going to go in to work with a very, very beautiful shade of eyeshadow. Let's get into it. So today the palette that I will be using is my little palette from Wet n Wild. Where is the palette? So this little palette is from what borders the country? Which countries border Myanmar? Welcome back, Jonathan. So I will be going. Now that I think of it, I want a very, very light eyeshadow. Oh, it's true. Today's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone in the USA. We've had our Thanksgiving in Canada, but happy Thanksgiving, guys. Happy, happy, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you have looked through the year and you're thankful for a lot. I am thankful for a lot, so I hope you are. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, guys. I hope you've had a very eventful year. I hope your year was beautiful. Mine was very beautiful and eventful. So I'm going to be grabbing a brush and I'll be using this shade. And this is my transition color. So always make sure that you are tapping and you are tapping. So this I'm just going to apply all over. So I am just placing it. So always try to build and then blend out. So I'm just blending it all the way out. Remember to tap off the excess. You want to do that. If you're watching from the US, happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. So this is done. So I'm just going to keep on blending this one until I have just slightly darker pigment. And of course, I'm blending it into my crease line. So when you're working with your crease, the angle of your brush really helps to make it so much easier to blend into that crease. And then you just feather out the remaining product all the way. So the same thing, I'm going to be blend and building up, placing first and then building it up. Moving it into my crease line. Always tap up. Crease and then blend, blend, blend. Just blend it into the brows. And then feather it all the way out. I'm doing the same thing, building up and then blending into my crease. right. And this is a very, very lovely subtle brown. I love that. So this is done. And I think it's looking pretty. And now I'm going to be picking a very gorgeous shade from this palette. And I will just be mixing it up to give me the perfect shade. And I like to grab a brush that really packs on lots of pigment. And this I'm just going to be picking up. It's like a reddish orange pigment. So I'm just going to be placing it in here like so. It's like it gives me the vibe of like the sun. So I'm just placing it and I'll be building it up. Mr. Sun, sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me. Is what I remember while working with this shadow. So just like your matte eyeshadow, you want to tap off the pigment because this is definitely falling out. Another way is to place powder underneath your eyes so that you can just dust off. So I'm just going to be picking my powder palette. I'm going to grab some powder and I'll just place it underneath so that it picks up that powder fallout. So this will help you to blend take out any fallouts that you're going to have from your shadow. All right. Okay, this is done. This is done. Hi, Gaspix. You've been away. How have you been? Welcome back. Welcome back. So I'm just placing this. I'm gonna go back to my song, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me. I am good. How have you been? All right, so this is done. Now I'm going to go in with like a darker shade just for a little bit of dramatic look. Let's see. Which dark glitter do I have that will work? Dun, 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 dun. So this is keeping a little bit of glitter somewhere around there. One palette comes to mind. Let's see. Ooh, okay. I've seen a shade that I can use for a more dramatic look. I mean, is it really dramatic? Is it as dramatic as I want? And I am just placing some more glitter. This is like a champagne gold situation going on here with this shade. I don't really see the difference, right? So we're gonna pivot and go into another shade. Ooh, I like this one. And this I'm just placing it on top of that one to give it a more like darker look. So like I said, this has a lot of fallout. So get ready to blend all that fallout out. So this shade just dims that gold just a little bit. Kind of gives you like a very dark gold situation, which I absolutely love. So I'm here for it. Gaspis, are you in the US? Are you celebrating Thanksgiving too? Alright. Shadow is done. Looking very, very nice. So I'm just going to go ahead and just blend this towards this part. And our eyeshadow is done just like that. Pretty nice, easy. You can do this. It's just like two or three products, so three eyeshadows. So you can definitely pull this off. Now for eyeliner, I'm going in with the e.l.f. eyeliner. This you can find in Walmart. I love this eyeliner because it's very, very thin and it just really helps me to get the liner where I want it to be. Ooh, I have like a double liner situation going on there. Not to worry. Hi Christina, how are you? Welcome to my live. Thanks for being on my live. Okay, I'm liking this. So this is usually the tricky part. Let's see. Okay, I love it. I love it. I know, guys, you should actually tune in from the first to like the 12th. I'm gonna do like a 12 days of Christmas makeup, so you want to watch that. I am so excited. I'm gonna use greens, I'm gonna use golds, reds, blues, all those Christmas colors that we see on like the Christmas tree. I'm gonna be using it, so you don't want to miss my 12 days of Christmas. So, guys, do come back. So I am just placing this like so. Very, very. I'm super excited. I'm just looking for like so many inspirations for that because I'm gonna have so much fun with that. So, so if you're new here, you definitely want to be back here tomorrow because on the weekends we do trivia weekends. So, and it's always fun. It's very chaotic. It's always very fun. So do come back for trivia night tomorrow. All right. So my trick for the liner is just to have your hands as steady as possible. Yep, steady hands for the win. So if your hands are steady, you stand a much better chance of getting your liners done very well. So you can balance it on a table or just whatever you can find to balance it works good. Okay, as you can see, eyeliner is done. It might not be exactly even, but that's okay. As long as your wing is good, trust me, you're good. Trust me, your wing just kind of covers up for everything. So I have a lot of eye space, so I love to do like extended wings. So if your eyes are small, you might want to do like smaller wing liner. It just really brings your eyes out more. You can see there's like lots of space on my eyes, so no matter how big my eyeliner goes, my eyes just accommodates that. But for some people, it's not the same. So you want to put into consideration your eye size before you do your eyeliner or your eye makeup in general. Now that this is done, I'm going to grab my e.l.f. liner and I am going to line my bottom lash, my waterline. So I like to also line like the top line, but to do this, I like to just place my hand on the eyeshadow like this with my eye closed. Just run this on the upper waterline. This just makes sure that there is enough liner in there, and you're good. Do the same for here. Make sure you have your waterline well lined. It's just gonna help you with any place that you missed, and then you can go in with your liner as well and just fix those parts. Okay, done, fixed. Gonna do the same here because remember you have like fallouts. This just helps you. And trust me, if you even have just like a very good eyeliner, that is all you need. Sometimes I'm not even in the mood to do any eyeshadow, and just a good liner works. So to do the bottom waterline, I like to pull it out just a little bit. Except you're doing a very dramatic smoky eye, I don't think that you should overline like your bottom waterline. Just make sure that you follow the way it is. So I just like to keep the black in that line. Voila, you can see. And I'm doing the same thing for here. So I like to pull it down. This works if you like have a hard time lining your waterline. This just works. Just pull it down just a little bit and then you line it. Well, I can totally line it whether I pull it down or not. My eye is very cooperative. It cooperates with me. So this I am just doing here just to continue the effect with the wing in front. This is like the eagle eye, I think. Okay, eagle eye done. All right, this is done. Now we're going to go into finishing this up. So I like to grab a brush and just dust off the excess so that you can dust off any fallout from your eyeshadow. This just helps you to dust it off just lightly. Then to finish it off, you're going to grab your beauty blender, and then here's what you're going to do to fix that under eye madness. Just press the product into your skin. Trust me, you have a better chance at doing this than just trying to dust all of it up. Just blend it. Blend, blend, blend. Now we can see you fixed that one. And I'm doing the same for this one. And it's okay if your blush is affected on the way, you're fine. Now, if you're someone who loves like a good under eye makeup, now that you have done this, you can just go into that brown and just run it on the bottom lash, just like this, just a little. It's okay. And this is done. Hi, Ella Gallo. How are you? Welcome back to my life. How are you today? Happy Thanksgiving for all of you watching from America. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. The weather is pretty cold. I think it snowed today. Yeah, it did snow. Oh yeah, it's snowing. It's snowing. So this I am just blending on there, keeping it pretty tight. And as you can see, this is looking very, very nice and subtle. Good to know, Ella. Good to know. Hope you had a wonderful week. So this is done. And now I am going to go into my lipstick and then this tutorial will be done. I love this tutorial. I totally, totally loved this tutorial. So I'm gonna grab my pencil. So you can go ahead and wipe off like any gloss that you have. Hi Rochester, how are you? Welcome to my live. And I like to grab a pencil. And this I like to use to line my lip like so. Good to know, good to know. Are you watching from the US? Is today Thanksgiving where you are? Yeah, I totally had line on my teeth. Okay, so now that I have done this, I like to use my hand just to feather it out. I can definitely use a brush. I like to use my hands. And I'm just tapping this. Now you can totally leave this at this, but then am I gonna do that? Of course not. I'm gonna go into like a brown shade. I'm just gonna look at my brown lipstick. And this I am gonna be using to line my lips. And she's nowhere to be found. Hey, brown lipsticky, where are you? Found her. So I'm going into this Debbie Luster lipstick. And I am just going to be grabbing the brown shade. And I'm just using this to reinforce that lip. Okay. Once again, I am going to be using my hand to blend. Now I'm going to be using my concealer palette. This palette I love. And I'm just going to be picking a shade from here. Oh boy, it's a disaster in here. So I am just going to be picking that shade and I'll be placing it here. And I'm just using my hand and I'm gonna do the same. And I am just placing. And as you can see, we have a very beautiful shade. So, of course, you know I'm not done. I love lip gloss, so we're gonna be glossing this. We're gonna be placing some lip gloss. We're gonna be placing some lip gloss. Lip gloss is the way. So I am just taking this lip gloss from LA Colors, and I will just be placing this here, like so. And this is just gonna give this lipstick a very vibrant lie. Whoosh, I love it. I love, love, love. Now, if you feel like you still want a little bit of that brown, um, where's the hair coming from? I feel like I need just a little bit of the brown. So I'm going to go back into the lip stain. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that. And Now I'll use my hand once again. Oh no. So not to worry, I'm gonna go back in with the gloss just to find everything out. So I'm going back into just the contour, and I'm just gonna be placing it here. Yeah, and then over with the gloss again. And there you have it. This tutorial is done. There you have it, guys. This is the end of this tutorial. I love the outcome. I love how the lipstick just blends with the eyeshadow. Everything is good. Now, to finish a good makeup off, you're going to have to use your blush. If you need to reinforce your blush, and I'm just taking my brush, and this I'm just using to run over that blush line. I'm not even going into the product. I'm just placing it like so, just because I want it to be light and luscious. Kind of like the underpainting method because it always comes out very rich, very nice, but then it is also time consuming depending, right? So if it's something that you would like, definitely go for it. Thank you, KS Life. This is done. I'm gonna go in with my mascara. And I like to just run this on the waterline. Sorry, on my lash. I don't know what I'm saying, waterline on my lash. So this I'm going to leave it here, and then I will be using a falsie. I'll be using a falsie, false lashes, false lashes, false lashes. And I'll be using this brand that I got from the dollar store. It's called Billy. This is the Billy brand. I really love this lash line. It's very, very nice. It's very gorgeous. So I'm gonna be using it today. And I will just be placing some of my lash glue on this. My lash glue is from the Kiss Beauty brand. Kiss Life, I hope you learned something from this tutorial today. And guys, do remember whenever you replicate like makeup looks that we've done on the channel, please tag me on Instagram. My Instagram is in the description box. So do say hello. If there is a look that you would like me to try, reach out to me on Instagram and send me a picture. And I hope I can do it, guys. Don't bring me something like Avatar or something technical. I can't do it. So, but just send me nice, cute looks that you think I should try. Or if you're just wondering how they achieve the particular look, we can recreate it here. So, do let me know, guys. Alright, just applying some glue to my falsies. And I like to apply lots of glue at the end just so that it really secures that part because it tends to go off whenever you're putting the lash. And make sure that there's no glue on the end. This I'm going to leave to sit out so that it can just start drying. You want this to dry down just a little bit. And I'm doing the second one. Na, 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 na. So guys, do you have any questions for me? Do you have any questions? Oh, there goes my light. Hmm. this. Da, 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 da. Okay, so this is done. So this is dried up just a little bit. So I'm going to be grabbing a mirror to help me with a closer view. My mirror. And there is something there. There's a little hair. Okay. Ooh, the lashes are pretty. So I like to press it in between just to get it seated really nicely. Wow, they're so light. I really can't see them. Let's go, let's go. Oh, hi, Yuna. Lashes are fun. Love it. I'm doing good today. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. All my wonderful subscribers. Happy Thanksgiving. What are you thankful for? I'm thankful for so many things. I'm thankful for life. I'm thankful for my family. I am thankful for my YouTube channel. I'm thankful for my subscribers. Thank you guys for always tuning in. She will bite you. Why would she bite you? Alright. So that she said done basically. And I'm just gonna use my hand to press it together just to keep it together. Ooh, that is gonna dry. Minecraft. Please don't bite anybody. And we are done. I absolutely love this makeup. So to finish up, I'm just gonna cross my T's and dot my I's. Fix any part that I want to fix. Hi, Erica. How are you? Welcome back to my live. How are you guys? Mm-hmm. I'm good. Thanks for asking. I'm good. So this, I really love this. I love it. I love it. So I'm just going to run my powder brush around, just like so. You guys should play it kindly. Be nice. Be nice. Play nicely. So I'm just grabbing my liquid highlighter, and this I'm going to be placing on the back of my hand. And I like to use the beauty blender just to smudge it out and place it. Oh, can you see that glow? So I'm just placing it here. And I'm doing the same for this side. Mm. And then I'm placing here. So I try to get it blended as seamlessly as possible. All right. So everything is done. Now I like to run over that blush again, just with the brush. Thank you, Yuna. Now once again, I do the final spray, and that is the end. Oh God. And honestly, this is the end of this tutorial. I had so much fun creating this look. Thank you guys so much for staying to the end. If you are here to the end, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are a real trooper. Thank you so much. Um, Yuna, it was nice to have you back on my life again. I hope I'll see you tomorrow. So tomorrow, guys, is trivia night. You don't want to miss trivia night. Trivia night is always so fun. So do make sure that you're back here tomorrow for trivia night. We're gonna have lots of fun, lots and lots of fun. So I'm gonna see you guys again tomorrow. Remember, if you recreate any looks from any of my videos, do tag me on Instagram and I will shout out to you or shout you out. So thank you so much, guys. I will see you again tomorrow and thank you for watching. Bye, guys.